Hello, everybody, and welcome. I have been bursting at the seams to talk about this energy that we are in for the rest of this week that is actually going to be active and alive for the rest of December, but it's very, very strong right now. Today is December 4th. Take it as it resonates for you. We all start to feel and experience the energies in our own unique path. But oh my, do we have a lot to talk about. And I will be coming on live. I just couldn't find a good time today. Maybe it will be later this evening. Maybe it will be tomorrow. We will see. We're really just trying to flow with the energy here. But I want to talk about a reading that I have here that I was asked to keep it out. It's going to jar my memory, bring up the memory of what I experienced yesterday personally. And I was kind of nudged by a few people to talk about that more in depth. We have currently the sun in a conjunction to Mercury in retrograde, and we have the sun squaring Saturn, as well as opposing. We've got Mercury and Jupiter opposition. I know for many of you that's like, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that Sagittarius energy, we have a lot of ambition. We have our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, and we think we are riding on the train to those hopes and wishes and dreams, but then Saturn comes in and brings in restrictions, brings us back down to earth, so to speak, a little bit in some things that we need to rethink, readjust, a course correction. There's a lot of pressure that is built under this energy, so it feels like we are like in a pressure cooker. Yes, a lot of it has to do with relationships to other, but we also have Venus representing, because Venus is in the mix as well, in Capricorn, representing finances, money as well. So I had a lot of really huge signs and symbolisms and experiences that unfolded between yesterday into today that are really the unfoldment of a story of what is happening in the collective field. My personal experience has been for a while, but really, really deeply earlier on this week and the end of last week. People from my past that I was in deep relationship or close relationship to that had a very significant impact on me, either in the negative or the positive or both, are resurfacing for me in the personal, in the physical. But it started off energetically. I could feel their energy returning. I was having dreams, I was having visions of very specific people and energy. And oddly enough, but not oddly enough, all of these people have something very much in common. They share a very similar energy and they're on a very similar path, opposite of mine. Right now. Not that that's their life path, that's just the path they've chosen at this time. So what arose in me? Well, I thought I had really let something go completely. And it was brought to my attention by having recommunication with somebody very important on my journey, who filled in the blanks to some unknown, some things that are mine. When we have unfinished business, when we have unresolved situations with people, but there's no way to get a resolve. It's like, let's just agree to disagree and separate our ways. The mind, it needs to finish up that story. It needs an understanding of what just happened, what happened. So I really was very conscious of that and tried hard not to let my mind go there. But it did, but I didn't buy the story all the way. Over the course of many years, those stories shifted and changed, and sometimes it went into more of a peaceful acceptance, and other times it went into anger and betrayal. And funny enough, that's the song, Alicia Keys' song, I Keep Falling In and Out of Love With You, had been playing over and over and over again in my head for days. I mean, days. So for me, obviously, I'm talking about somebody that I had fallen deeply in love with. And what do we mean when we say fall in love? It's somebody that activated my heart, opened my heart, cracked my heart open, and allowed me to once again feel the energy of love, the vibration of love, and share that with them. And that didn't last as long as I would have liked it, but I'm grateful for the experience. So going over this reading, I want to share with you because I know for a fact it was actually confirmed to me through other people that I'm not the only one having this experience. And maybe some people are still having this experience of, I need to part ways with this person. I don't want to. I really feel that they're like my spiritual soul person. Yeah, they are a spiritual soul person to wake you up. The first two cards I received, peace and gratitude. I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. Well, I didn't realize I still had some of that story, the negative aspects of that story stored inside until it was brought back to the light of consciousness through a small snippet of communication. What else arose was betrayal, abandonment, never being able to be strong enough to clarify and give more understanding. I have it now. I didn't have it for a very long time. So Tower, yeah, sudden, shocking, wow. I knew it. I knew that this person, as I ascended, were descending into some life experiences that they need to have. That is now kind of keeping them in shadow. It's almost like you get sucked into a black hole. You sell your soul to some degree. Because what I've noticed with people, and it could be my ability to just see the soul in everyone, regardless of the character they're playing. But I also see when they get into specific relationships or specific patterns or specific addictions that their complete and utter demeanor is different. They don't even understand a word I'm saying. They go somewhere else. Their soul has left the physical body almost. It feels that way. It seems that way. We're talking about karma. Below that, we have the devil. So this person that I'm talking about from my own personal experience did enlighten me to my own unconscious patterns, awoken me to my true soul self, and I'll forever be grateful for that. And they went back to sleep, so to speak. And it was very painful, very painful. But what I sat with that energy because I wanted to just bypass. I wanted to let me go back. After having said conversation that really validated something that I intuitively knew, but I did not have the verbal confirmation, I felt a sense of relief, and I went to bed. I went to sleep, and when I woke up the next day, which would have been yesterday. Now the days are all blending together. I felt very strange. I felt as if I was living a version of my past. I was living in the present, and I was also living a version of future, past, present, future, all at once. and it was overwhelming. And I got up out of bed and I got myself dressed and I went about my day and did the work that I needed to do. And as I finished, I felt this enormous sense of deep sorrow and sadness rush up. I was getting choked up. I wasn't home. I was like, what is this? What is going on, Paige? And I was just kind of like, it was taking my breath away. So I left work. I went out to go for a walk. I wanted to walk it off, shake it off. It's been very cold and windy here. I wasn't dressed for it. I made it like halfway down the path and had to turn around. It was way too cold, and got in my car, feeling very vulnerable and sensitive then. And I came home. And when I came home, this overwhelming sense of sadness, I needed to cry. So I finally surrendered to it, and I said, okay, let's show me, what is this about? I thought I was pulling in somebody else's, and most likely I was also pulling in this person's energy as well. But it was really deeply linked to a wounded inner child. I had dialogue with this inner child who had always held on to hopes that this person was the one, and that they were going to wake back up and realize and come back into my life. And this little girl inside of me had the same deep hopes about my father. So it's a deep father wound. I remember just watching out the window like, he's going to come back. He's going to come back, for a long time, but he never did. Same went with this person. So I'm very, very aware of this little girl, this inner child wound that is still very sad, very vulnerable. And I let the tears flow. And I cried and I cried, and I started to feel a sense of relief, because this part within me really needed to honor that grief, needed to really have one last purge. And then reconnected with all of my other parts, I was able to see clearly that I actually don't want to reconnect with this person. Not in the state that they're in, not where they're at. And logically, now this is logical mind, it's gonna take them a long time to catch up with me and my level of consciousness, because it's taken me a long time to get here. A lot of cleansing, a lot of healing, a lot of clearing, a lot of sitting with myself, a lot of connecting to spirit, a lot. It's a lot of work. And when you're not willing to do all of this inner work, we kind of get stuck, and we stay stuck in a loop until we're ready. Sometimes it does go in stages. So the Tower, sudden realizations, sudden shocks about, where's my happiness come from? My sense of joy, love, fulfillment. 10 of Cups. What had been blocking me from fully feeling that for more than a day or a week or a month on end? This part in me that was holding on. And I didn't realize I had a part, and these parts are all energy, that was holding on to somebody from the past. Why has it been so difficult for me to create the things that I desire in life and have them truly stick? Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot that I've desired in life that I have created and they have stuck. So, but we're talking about some deep, deep desires that are more than our basic needs and more than the love and connection, which really is big. I'm abundant. I am grateful for the abundance of love, family, friends, home. I have everything that I need. Sometimes it feels like I'm working overtime to hold on to what I need as far as finances go. But anyway, what was keeping me from the fruits of my labor? What has it been? Well, there's a distortion. There's a distorted part of the mind. This is that inner child that still feels like I wasn't picked. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't understood. Maybe it's never going to happen with anybody. Maybe I'm going to just do this journey all alone. You know, how the story goes. It's a mental story based off of pain, heartache, betrayal. And to actually face someone who I deeply loved. I still have deep love for this person, but not in the codependent or anxious attachment style neediness that this inner child really needed. This inner child that did not have her father. This inner child that's never had a male counterpart. Give her a container of safety and security and love and all of these things. This is a true need and desire, and I'll admit it. But my ego doesn't want to, because my ego is the survivor. My ego is the part of me that, like, you can't dwell on that. You've got to keep rising. And I do see that. I see that very clearly. But in order to clear out fully, I had to let this wounded child within me come out and purge and cry and see her and hold her and witness her and tell her that it's going to be okay. Cards confirmed it. There's a part that was holding on to this really terrible story. And now that I have confirmation of the story wasn't as terrible as what I as far as myself is concerned, seeing it from a higher perspective, it had nothing to do with me. Although my lesson in it is, how do I treat myself when I don't feel that I'm lovable, that I am able to, that there's ever going to be someone in my life to share my life experiences with in a healthy way. So reverse that, because then it comes out to say the Star and the Three of Pentacles. I actually do have beautiful souls in my life that we collaborate and work together, teamwork. We're on the same page for the most part. And that is very supportive and healing for us all. It gives us hope that we can actually continue to climb the mountain, so to speak, of life and reach for the stars, reach for our desires. This is the bigger picture we're talking about here, the King of Swords. The clarity that was needed was gifted to me the other night. And even though psychically I knew it, getting that verbal confirmation from the horse's mouth, so to speak, was bam. It knocked out, it knocked away this energy that was in my subconscious, pretty much. Came up into consciousness every so often when I was triggered or challenged. But that energy, everything is connected in our life. This energy's been keeping me from the fruits of my labor, from actually enjoying the things that I do manifest and create and grow and tend to all the way. Because there was still this deep underlying pressure and pain that I had pushed away. I can't see it anymore. I'd spent so many years just crying over the same thing, and eventually life would lift me up and take me on the journey. Energy, it cannot be created or destroyed. However, we can transmute it. And I feel the one gift that I received that is really truly bringing me to a place of peace, inner peace, helping me to release the negative energy, is that key that I received. Not everybody's going to receive this. Not everybody is going to receive confirmation from somebody who has betrayed you, abandoned you, But trust me when I say it has nothing to do with you. It really, truly doesn't. One of the other things that I can be very grateful for, not only the beautiful souls that are in my life and everything that I actually need to survive on a day-to-day basis, but I am grateful for this experience because it did push me out of my own unhealthy patterns. It pushed me to see myself. It pushed me to see my part in it and why this was meant to shake me up. It changed me for the better, for sure. And could never go back. Never, ever. So I wanted to share this message with whoever needs to hear this, because I feel like many people are going through either a breakup, a shakeup, or people from the past where the whole story wasn't complete. Maybe it is becoming much more complete. If not, see that there's still that residual leftover inner child within that needs an outlet, needs to come out, needs to cry, needs to speak its truth, needs to show you what your soul needs, what you really truly need, and what you've been doing to bypass that, how you haven't been listening to those parts. These are wounded inner children within us. So we're under a pressure cooker and also being asked to slow down because we're being asked to do things differently, treat ourselves differently, give ourselves what we need, honor the grief process as well. So that's what I have. I just wanted to share so I could put the cards away. And I think that I'm going to leave that here for now. I will say the pressure cooker energy is big. So hang in there. Go slow. Saturn is really trying to help us break free of old beliefs and old patterns. But it's not easy, and if you are going about things either reacting and responding the same way you always have, if your mind is running wild, if you're making the same choices you always have in the past, Saturn's asking you to stop. Take a beat. Take a look at that. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? How are you bypassing, or even worse, how are you just swallowing what needs to actually be experienced? Meaning swallowing your feelings, suppressing just to survive, just to get by. What is it within you that Saturn and the Sun and Mercury and Jupiter and Venus and the Moon, let's just say the universe, is really trying to pull out from you right now? Because these are parts of ourselves we can't deny. We take them with us no matter where we go, no matter what relationship we're in, no matter what experience we're having in life. And I do recognize this heaviness that had been following me for quite some time. And I also recognize that after having that experience and giving more of a release, I feel lighter. I still have been challenged. I had to pay taxes today. I mean, don't even get me started about life challenges, because they are front and center for all of us. I had a woman in my driveway, some stranger, just pulled into my driveway and was screaming and yelling at somebody on the phone and looked really like she was having a breakdown. And I couldn't see to get by her. I was trying to back out of my driveway, like, shh. I wanted to ask her, are you okay? Are you looking for somebody? Like, why are you in my driveway? But something told me, like, she needs time. She needs space. I gave it to her. even though this is private property. Anyway, I feel like a lot of people are going through it right now because the pressure's on. The pressure's on to grow, to evolve, to change, to be the change. There's going to be others that are feeling this fiery Sagittarius energy that are going to want to try to, because it's about the mind and communication, Mercury, try to talk people into seeing things their way, or try to help people by persuading or really bringing. Don't waste your time or breath. It actually would most likely backfire on you. Anyway, they're not going to be able to hear you, and that's not your place to do that right now or at all. If if you feel like you really want to give unsolicited advice, give it to yourself. Sit back, take a break, take a beat, take a rest, because this is pressure cooker energy. It's big. And so learn the lessons, understand what's going on. We're trying to wrap up karmic cycles of patterns that have kept us in a holding pattern for quite some time. You might want to give yourself some time to rest, slow down the mind. We've got Ten of Swords below that. Yeah. Not putting fear out there. This is all about growth and growing into our true selves. It's not easy, it's not pretty, but we did sign up for this, these lessons, these tests, these people, these characters that are playing, the people that are like shaking us, rattling us, even playing the government and the IRS and all that. We designed that. So allow for life to unfold for you and stay in your highest mind, highest perspective that you can. Stay very present. So much love to you. Bye.